recording.
Okay, hi everybody. Um, Today I'll be talking to you on enhancing diversity and inclusion in computational fluid dynamics, looking from the lens of a culturally responsive initiative. My name is Adekola Adeyemi, and my research group is Toll Machinery and Steady Flow Research Group, University of Windsor. And before I proceed in this presentation, there are three key messages I would like you to sort of like take away from this presentation. And the first thing is that high performance computing systems, they provide the computational foundation that makes advanced computational fluid dynamics feasible. And now, most high performance computing systems, they are Linux based. So reducing the sort of knowledge barrier in the use of Linux will increase access to high performance computing systems. Now, the Digital Research Alliance of Canada, which I'll be talking more about, they offer free high performance computing resources across Canada. So there are different clusters all within Canada, and they are available for Canadian researchers for free. So a brief introduction about me and my background. So I'm a PhD candidate in Turbo Machinery and Steady Flow Research Group, University of Windsor, and my research area is in aerodynamics and the propulsion of turbofan engines. So you can see the picture on the right from me here is an example of like the kind of aircraft in which I am studying, but more on the propulsion side of things. So these are like, would you say they are like, future designs, which is they use a boundary layer ingesting hair as the inflow. So you can imagine you have slow moving hair on a surface. So when you have, when hair moves over a surface, because of friction, the hair on that surface, the one closest to the surface, they are sort of slowed. They are slowed down. So those are the kind of inflow that this engine ingests. And because of that, because they are slow moving air, the engine, the fans at least, do not have to run as fast as current at the rate at which the current ultra high bypass engine we have right now runs. So that means you require less fuel to power them. So what I'm studying right now is mitigating efficiency penalties that are associated with this kind of aircraft. So my approach is highly computational. So you can understand why I'm very much invested in high performance computing systems. So what exactly is high performance computing systems? They are like systems that allow for large parallelizations of jobs. So, and these are something you're sure. For example, if you hear of like data centers, like, oh, Google data center, Amazon data centers, so they are all high performance computing systems, So, and this, like the picture you have here that I've just generated with an AI that also relies on high performance computing system, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So, this time accuracy of these simulations are actually very computationally expensive. So, normally you would not be able to run the kind of simulation we are talking about here on your local system. It's not just possible. So, but because of high performance computing systems, we are able to perform these computationally expensive tasks. And the Digital Research Alliance of Canada have these systems available. So now I could give you like something, would you say, that is like personal to me. For example, right now in my research, am with this thing that I'm studying, I have different design approaches. So, like I could set up like 40 to 50 different case sort of case setup, case studies, sort of changing different parameters And I'm able to do all of that because of these resources that are available, and they are free. So I don't have to consider cost from the angle of design exploration. So, Canadian government invests heavily on this research infrastructure, and the objective basically is to make Canada like a leading, like top class, Canadian researchers, top class at the international stage. So they have three major services. There is advanced research computing, there is research data management, and research software. But but the one I am much more focused on is on advanced research computing, which involves high performance computing systems and then storage. So even if your work is not necessarily like computational, maybe your work is experimental, you could still use like you could still take the advantage of the storage system because they have like we're talking of like terabytes of storage for free, for anybody that is in a Canadian institution. So they have all these facilities available. Now, sometime last year, August of last year, they, there was a pilot program that was launched called the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion and Accessibility pilot program. And basically, the idea was that they want to increase uptake on these resources because the resources are there, but most people are not taking advantage of these resources. And they launched this program, and then there was a call for proposal for anybody who have an idea on how they can increase uptake and increase, access, and also ensure equity, diversity, and inclusion, especially among equity seeking groups. So there was a $3.5 million grant, and then about 82 awardees were given, this sort of the grants to perform this project. So I was one of those that was successful, one of the successful applicants. So basically, what exactly is my problem statement here? What am I trying to do? Well, like I just mentioned, CFD simulations require high performance computing systems, and many underrepresented groups lack access and to awareness, uh, lack access to these tools due to awareness and technical barriers. So the aim basically is to develop strategies to improve uptake on, especially for CFD users. And then the research question is that what are the strategies that I think I can come up with to solve these problems? So I had to look into literature, like what exactly has been done before now, and I found out that so there were, different, different there have been different approaches. There's been hosting of boot camps, there have been organizing of internship workshops, also like training on HPCs and hands-on tutorials. So, what exactly is my approach? Well, my approach is basically to sort of tackle the awareness problem, the training problem, and then go open, like have like an open source approach to this. So have like an online repository that is free, free for all, whereby people can sort of come in and then use whatever tools that we come up with. Also, like some of the training materials, and then preach about this on social media, whereby creating more awareness even to a much more larger audience. So, and the current challenges, like I said, is that many many researchers in Canada, they lack awareness of these tools. And for those that are aware, Linux it has this sort of steep learning curve for like first-time users. And so my approach is to solve those challenges that I just itemized. And so the first thing I did was I started raising awareness through workshops and seminars. And so like the picture you are seeing here is me talking to National Society of Black Engineers on sort of engaging with them and telling them about these tools. Because what you find out is that this problem exists more among underrepresented groups, right? So these are people that were, for example, most of these people, many are even international students that came into Canada where these kind of resources are not available back in their home country. So they are not even, it's not that they are not even aware, the idea does not even occur to them. So engaging them and then sort of telling them about these uh, resources that are available. Also, I I went to different research group and then sort of talk to speak to a research group that are sort of also aligned with this. And then basically what I'm telling them is that I'm going to be organizing training, especially on Linux. So because most people are used to Windows, and the idea of working with something that does not have a graphic user interface, it's intimidating to some persons. So I started with telling them that okay, well, we've started the training for a while now, teaching Linux, basic, Linux basics, shell scripting, remote connections, and things like that. And then OpenFOAM. So OpenFOAM is like an open source CFD tool that we use in my research group. And because of the barriers to like things like licensing and basically if you don't have a license, you can't perform a CFD calculation. Things like OpenFOAM solves that problem because, and that's the beauty of open source. So, but the challenge with open source is the lack of proper documentation. So, because I have been using this for over 3 years, so I have the knowledge and the technical know-how on how to use this tool, especially on the clusters. So I'm teaching them that as well, and I've been speaking to different research groups, and we've started this training as well. So, what exactly is the project impact and the expected outcome? Well, the first thing is community building in University of Windsor, and this has been something that we, the community is growing. A lot of people that I was not even aware that, are sort of doing some of these things that I'm doing. I've been able to engage with them, and then you know, we are growing basically, and we are building the community. In fact, I was supposed to speak to the NSB Detroit chapter sometime last month, but for some logistical problem, I couldn't do that. But that's to show how much impact we're sort of making, even sort of even taking it outside of Canada. Also, there have been an increase in the DRA resource uptake among other represented groups. And this is something that even a lot of students in the university are not aware of. And these resources are free. Instead of, so you can imagine you have like a research group where you have maybe 10 to 12 students and they have just one supercomputer, just one. So they have to all queue to use these tools. Whereas you have a much more gigantic system available to you for free. But the only problem is you are not aware. So I've been able to build that community, and then these are one of the impacts of the project. So also online repositories. So most of the training that I'm doing, most will be posted on YouTube, and as well some custom scripts that we're writing, even the training materials, they will all be you know sort of pushed to GitHub. So workshops, seminars like the one I'm giving right now, and then at the end of the project there will be a paper on the Turbo Expo education track. So um, looking forward, some of the things I'll be doing is keep on talking. So keep on sort of like creating awareness, like I'm doing here right now. And then I also have another presentation scheduled with the Ontario Society of Professional Engineers on the Leadership Thursday platform. And also, I'm going to be getting more training on high performance computing systems. So to get involved, you can check the GitHub repository as shown there. Thank you very much. So
Well,
if you have
thank you.
any question, you can go ahead. Yeah.
I can stop the recording now if you want, and
Yes.
Open up the chat or open up the